Is it the fanciful dreams and anxieties of political leaders that should guide us, or is the law which should guide us? Now, you see, anytime you make the allegation that there's political manipulation of the judicial system, you're attacking the judiciary. Because without the judiciary offering itself for manipulation, it cannot be manipulated. So anytime you allege that the outcome of a certain trial has been politically manipulated, you are attacking the integrity of the judges who sat on the case. And I think it's most unfair. We don't want our integrity attacked. The integrity of every citizen of Ghana, including those who sit on the bench, needs to be protected. But politicians, for very reckless reasons, are constantly attacking the integrity of persons sitting on the bench. And that's worrisome. So the moment you sit on the bench, you become devil, you become evil, you become a collaborator, you become an unprincipled person and so on. That's a problem. In any case, check. All the judges who have sat on these controversial cases, go and check the dates of their appointments. Go and check the dates of their appointments. If that is important. I don't think that is important. You understand? But if you think it is important, go and check the dates of the appointments. So please. Massa, why? Why do you politicize everything?
But this is not politics.
Even people's freedom. People's rights are being politicized. What is this?
Obusian for your money now, Kwesi Pratt and any Bresano or clash with A. Richard Anyaba, I just say NPP communicator, one of them, and I just clash with him. Now, information about how a democracy and attack demonstration because switching no said in Yama a cocono a Kwesi Pratt a because like the nation democracy is under attack. Or just say country ben pan the better rate some of the things are more NPP for me, you know. Because how comes you people, the same people mutima edit the judge at them, the same people mutima attack the judiciary. And on your democracy is under attack. Namoya na say ne accountability cost because every country, even in the constitution, also there shall be an accountability. Just for officer, there shall that means mandatory. Now, and then for office now accountability because democracy is an attack. And then Crawford make speeches be over and same fatter. You become president, you become near to go bottom was a free speech. You call friendly panel now see holding responsible as democracy is an attack. Kwesi Pratt and Yabri by
of the demonstration which is scheduled for tomorrow.
Right.
You know, Ghana is a very interesting country. This is a country in whose constitution, which is the fundamental law, the right to protest is guaranteed. You don't see that in many constitutions around the world. In this particular constitution, provision is made for the right to demonstrate. That's very interesting. Now, what does that mean in our real life? Tomorrow, today, some people watching this show can decide that they've seen your beautiful watch and that such beautiful watches should not be worn on morning shows. They have a right to protest against the watch we are wearing.
Right.
They may decide that, you know, the table behind which we are sitting ought to be rectangular instead of its L shape. They have a right to demonstrate.
Right.
In fact, the people of Ghana have a right to demonstrate if they think that there's too much milk on the shelves of our supermarkets and so on. So citizens have a right to protest, to demonstrate, to speak out. And I think it's important that that right to demonstrate is not fettered. And in my view, the New Patriotic Party should actually be encouraged to demonstrate. We should encourage them, everybody who wants to uphold the tenets of the Constitution should be encouraging them to demonstrate. And I think they should be given every assistance necessary, you understand, for this demonstration to take off. They must be given police protection. They must be given everything that the state has to provide in order to ensure that this demonstration, takes off and there's no incident. Perhaps at the end of the day tomorrow, we would have proven one thing, that in this country, the Constitution can still be respected.
Yes.
And that citizens' right to protest is not being kept,
right.
and so on. So encourage them, encourage the New Patriotic Party to organize the demonstration. And I have no difficulty at all
with that.
In the New Patriotic Party organizing a demonstration, tomorrow. There are some things, however, that I think we need to interrogate, and these are important matters. For example, one of the issues that they are flagging is the decision of the Court of Appeal in respect of Sedina Tamakro. You understand?
Yes.
Now that's very interesting, because the New Patriotic Party and the government of Ghana agree on everything. They're on the same page.
True.
You understand?
Yes.
What is the New Patriotic Party saying? The New Patriotic Party is saying that she should not have won the case at the Court of Appeal.
Yes.
And that the law, in their view, may not have been properly interpreted and so on. What is the Attorney General's position? The Attorney General has filed
an appeal
against the decision of the Court of Appeal.
Yes.
So both the New Patriotic Party and the government of Ghana agree on this particular case.
Yes.
Why protest? Is the protest against the Court of Appeal? Is it against the government of Ghana? Is it against the NDC? I don't understand. Somebody has to do some explanation. You understand? Now, there's a question that I like to pose, and I know that Richard is quite smart. He'll be able to provide an answer, and I would like to listen to that answer. Just in case, Sedina happened to be a leader of the New Patriotic Party. Would the New Patriotic Party have taken the stand that it has taken today? That's an interesting question. Now, the answer to this question ought to take into account the fact that several of the leaders of the New Patriotic Party are facing trial. In fact, one has just received a conviction. You understand? So, what principle are they establishing? And would that principle be applicable to all persons, irrespective of the party that they belong to? This is an important question, and I believe that my brother and friend will be able to answer that, with his usual eloquence. You understand? Now, we are told also that there have been some convictions, I suppose, which are an aberration when it comes to the constitutional order, the rule of law, and so on. And I'm sitting here and I'm wondering. Yesterday, I heard one of the leaders of the party speak about the conviction of persons for speech. He says, just speech. How can you convict people for speech and so on? And I'm sitting back and I'm wondering, speech can become a really potent weapon. You understand? And under the laws of every country in the world, some speech is criminalized. There's no country in the world where some speech is not criminalized. You see, for example, if you sat on a media like this one and you call for the overthrow of a government, that's treason.
That's not free speech.
It doesn't come under the rubric of free speech. Calling for the overthrow of government is not free speech. You can't hide under free speech to be calling on people to overthrow a government.
Right.
It is punishable. And indeed, if that was not punished, every country would just drive straight into anarchy.
Yeah.
You understand?
Yeah.
Now, is it okay for citizens under the rubric of free speech to be publicly on mass media be advocating the burning of other opponent party headquarters? Can I sit here today and say that, look, the headquarters of the New Patriotic Party should be burned down tomorrow morning, and I'm going to buy gasoline to burn down the New Patriotic Party headquarters? Would that be lawful? It is just speech. It is speech. But is that lawful speech? And which country in the world would tolerate that as just lawful speech and not take action? At least to protect the public interest, to protect property, and to protect labor. If I came here this morning and announced on your platform that, look, I want to kill the president. Not just the president, I want to kill the president and kill his wife. And not just that, after killing them, I will put their bodies in cocoa sacks. It is speech, isn't it? Is that lawful speech? Is that speech which should not be punished? Is that speech which should not be criminalized? And so on. So I think that we've got to come to terms. We've got to define clearly what is it that we are protecting. Otherwise, we are pushing this country onto the brink of total anarchy and irresponsible politicking. You understand? So these are legitimate questions, I hope, that I can put forward.
Okay, so before you go ahead, sorry, the issue about the threats matter. I've heard some people who say, well, look at the person who is issuing the threat. Now, while can he or she do what they say they will do? Just let the person, just forget, ignore.
Tomorrow, interesting issue that we have raised. Let's assume that we have a completely crazy person, somebody who's lost his marbles, somebody whose faculties are not working properly, somebody in tattered clothes, and so on. If that person says he's going to burn the Bank of Ghana, what are you going to use to come to the conclusion that the person is not fit to burn the Bank of Ghana? What does it take to burn any public building?
Yeah.
Tell me.
I get the point. I get it.
Tell me, anybody who threatens to commit arson should be dealt with according to the law. We must insist on the rule of law. That's what we should be insisting on. And no other thing, the rule of law. Now, in all of this, pontifications and so on, I would like to hear something. I would like to hear that my brother Richard Ahiagba has been convicted and that the offense for which he has been committed is not an offense created by law. Then we'll be talking. But if an offense is a creation of law, and the law courts convict on the basis of the offense which is a creation of law, where is our problem?
Right.
We have a right as citizens to act for leniency, compassion. The president has power to pardon. So you can every day call on the president to pardon some people who have been convicted. But you must clearly state the grounds for compassion. True or false?
True.
Grounds for compassion must be clearly stated.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah.
One of the issues which has been raised and has been raised quite strongly by my friends, including Richard this morning, is the issue of selective justice. If it's proven, it will be quite a serious, indictment on the government. If it's proven. The selective justice is something that we should never tolerate because it undermines all the principles of the rule of law and so on. If it's proven, it's a serious matter.
Right.
Okay. But one of the things that I've heard said is that the government took power, and after taking power, persons belonging to the political party that put up President Mahama for the election, NDC and so on, their cases have been withdrawn from the courts, and others are being prosecuted. If it's true, it's serious, especially if you can prove that it's against the law, it's a violation of the law. But here we are. In the case of Kwabena Dufo and others, and so on, what happened? Plea bargaining, wasn't it?
Yeah.
That's exactly what happened, plea bargaining. What is happening with regards to the, is it Ntribosi Akochema, Wuntumi's case,
yes,
and this bank? What is the bank?
Is it Ghana Exim Bank?
Ghana Exim Bank.
Yes.
Is it not plea bargaining?
Yes, it's plea bargaining.
So plea bargaining is being applied in both cases.
Except in his case, the Attorney General has turned it down. He says he's not interested.
No, the Attorney General is saying that he's not satisfied with the offer he's
Absolutely.
making.
Absolutely.
So if he made an offer,
yes,
which the Attorney General was satisfied
then they can
with,
talk.
His case will not be tried by the court.
Yes.
Okay?
Yes.
So if you compare the two cases, where lies the selective justice? I'm struggling. If it can be proven, I'll be happy,
Yes.
and so on.
Yes.
Where lies the selective justice and so on? I'm struggling, you understand? But not just that, my brother. Not just that. There are some facts which are not public yet, but I'll just pose questions. You know, Dr. Opuni was tried for purchasing inferior, what is it?
It's a liquid fertilizer.
Fertilizer.
Yes.
Inferior quality fertilizer.
Yes.
That's what he was tried on. And the trial went on for at least 7 years without any conclusion. It was likely to continue and so on.
Yes.
Trials cost money. I just want to ask 2 or 3 questions.
Okay.
That fertilizer, for which Dr. Opuni was being tried, where is the fertilizer?
They are being used. They were used by the government.
Are you sure?
Yes. They were used by Cocoa Board. Randy came and told us here.
Oh,
Yes, they were used by Cocoa Board. They didn't throw them away.
should I continue?
No, you don't have to.
Should I continue?
We'll take a break
That
now.
fertilizer for which he was being tried
Yes, was used by the government.
was used.
Yes.
Mo,
Everything.
you are taking a break.
Yes, we'll take a break. No, I'll come back to you after the break.
That fertilizer was used.
Yeah, it was used.
The cocoa farmers
Everything,
used
not
it.
even
Everything,
once. Everything.
everything.
You're
yes.
taking a long break.
Is it even possible? Is it even possible? And I'm guided that some people sold the same quality of fertilizer
Yes.
at higher prices to the cocoa board.
It's possible.
So if that trial is discontinued, what is the problem?
He's NDC, so don't discontinue his trial.
Oh, that is the case.
Yes, we feel any so don't discontinue.
Okay, no problem.
All right.
Master,
Mo,
I'll
let me borrow.
rest here.
Yes.
I'll rest here.
All right.
You think if an NPP president, NPP won't be clapping? They would. They'll be happy if he were NDC, whose case was. Let this
Let
government
me say what I
discontinue.
want to say in my
okay.
own words.
All right.
I deliberately chose my words.
I know.
I calculated
Rhetorical
very
question.
carefully.
Yes.
You understand?
Yes.
See, Moro,
Uncle Kwesi.
I think that I hear Uncle Kwesi, of course, is doing independent analysis.
Right.
So if you were an NDC, my response would be different.
Oh, please.
No, because you are not.
If my facts are wrong, my facts
No,
are
no, I'm
wrong.
not saying
It doesn't
facts
matter whether I'm NDC or NPP.
No, I'm saying that you're doing
If my analysis is faulty,
Because-
it is faulty. It
Yes.
doesn't matter whether I'm CPP or ACP or KWZ.
So
It
focus
doesn't
on the
matter.
message, not the messenger.
Yeah, focus on the message. and let's move on.
Yeah, so here I'm not focusing on only the message or the message. I'm focusing on the analysis you have done, which I
Fantastic.
think that is independent enough. So I'll leave it at that. But you see, you raised a question about the government agrees with the MPP.
Yes.
Or the NPP agrees with the government.
Yes, so both ways works. But the point is that you see the double position of the NDC, the party departing with their government to say that that ruling was fair and just, and finding issue with the prosecutors, in essence, the former government, for convicting her wrongly. So where there cannot be any agreement, because you can just see clearly that what the government is doing is to save face with this appeal.
Richard, be careful not to walk into quicksand.
No.
Be very careful not to walk into quicksand. And let me explain. Just give me half a minute and let me explain something. It is not unusual for governments and parties to disagree, or for sections of political parties to disagree with government. And in the time that President Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo was in power, we saw that. We had a situation where the vast majority of members on the majority side actually petitioned government for the removal of the Minister of Finance.
It's an outlier case.
No. Can I just... No, but let me land. Okay. Now, government disagreed with its own members of parliament. What is the problem with that? You are accusing government of double standards, when it comes to, the application of the law and so on.
Yes.
Here is a case where your party and government, not your party and NDC, your party and government agree.
Yeah. Kwesi, this is apple and oranges you are bringing here. The case where some MPs in Parliament petition to remove one, that is not a disagreement comparable to what we're talking about. We're talking about it's not. It's entirely different. You're talking about entirely different. Entirely different.
No problem.
Entirely different. So you see, we have a situation where it's not even a disagreement. Okay. It's just a double position. Which then goes to the heart of the matter that this is what they wanted and this is what they have gotten.
Okay.
Boss.
Yes, sir.
Let me start from here. I mean, maybe fortunately or unfortunately, both of us are not lawyers. Okay, so we are allowed some free range. The matter in dispute, as regards Sedinam's guilt or innocence, is a matter which will be determined by the Supreme Court.
Yes.
By voting for the 1992 Constitution as the supreme law of the land, we cannot be opposed to the Supreme Court.
You mean the appeals court?
The Supreme Court.
Oh, we're not there yet. We're going to appeals court.
We've gone to appeals court.
Oh, sorry. We're going to
the Supreme Court, yeah.
Sorry, Supreme Court. Sorry about that. My apologies.
By accepting this Constitution and pledging, presidents and all pledging to defend this Constitution, we cannot be opposed to the Supreme Court making that determination.
Absolutely.
Now, the fact that the Supreme Court decision would affirm a position held by one party or the other would not be grounds to invalidate the Supreme Court decision.
Absolutely.
So the Supreme Court decision, either way, may affirm position taken by NDC or affirm position taken by the NPP. Now, if it affirms the position taken by the NPP, we cannot say, therefore, that the whole thing is a scheme calculated to achieve a certain objective. The fundamental law says that the Supreme Court is clothed with the responsibility and power to make that decision.
Absolutely.
We should wait for the Supreme Court to make that decision without conjuring up the possibility of the Supreme Court deciding one way or the other. Fine. Now, again, we are not lawyers. But I know that when it comes to the interpretation of the law, especially the interpretation of the Constitution and so on, even though the Constitution says that the Supreme Court ultimately decides what the Constitution means and its effect and so on, the Supreme Court has in many decided cases, many, and I can quote many decided cases, said that the trial judge only has to refer matters to the Supreme Court if, in the view of the trial judge, the matter deserves interpretation.
Absolutely.
That for as long as the judge sitting in the High Court or any court believes that the matter is clear and is not deserving of interpretation by the Supreme Court, the matter needs not be referred to the Supreme Court for interpretation. And there are several Chief Justices and Supreme Court decisions which affirm this position. You understand? So to use this, that in the Wontumi trial, the lawyers for whom to meet wanted the Supreme Court to do a certain interpretation and the judge disallowed it, and therefore the decision is invalid, is actually not to understand the law and how the law operates. You understand? That's clear. Then there's the issue of proof in criminal trials. Again, let me admit, in all honesty, that I'm not a lawyer. I've never been to law school. I've never even passed close to the classrooms of the law school in Makwala and so on. I'm just a simple, ordinary journalist. You understand? But then the lawyers, they have a lot of respect for a certain law guru called Lord Denning.
Household name.
Whoa, everybody refers to Lord Denning. Okay? What does Lord Denning say about the quality of proof in a criminal case? Lord Denning says, proof beyond reasonable doubt should not be equated to fanciful doubt. To prove beyond fanciful doubt. This is Lord Denning. Just read Lord Denning and the matter is settled. You understand? So all these issues that my brother is raising, really, I mean, if you want to apply the rule of law, if you want to have a certain fidelity to the Constitution and so on, they do not arise. In fact, their case will be made properly if they can come to us, come to the people of Ghana and say that, look, there have been 7 convictions.
Yes, sir.
For those 7 convictions, the crimes for which the convictions were secured does not exist, have not been created by law. Then they will have a case. But if for all the convictions, the crimes for which the conviction was secured has been created by law, what is the basis of the argument? That's not what I'm saying. That's the basis of the argument.
Yeah.
Now, there is something which is very, very important in this discussion. Do we believe in the rule of law or we don't? Is it the fanciful dreams and anxieties of political leaders that should guide us, or is the law which should guide us? Now, you see, anytime you make the allegation that there's political manipulation of the judicial system, you're attacking the judiciary. Because without the judiciary offering itself for manipulation, it cannot be manipulated. So anytime you allege that the outcome of a certain trial has been politically manipulated, you are attacking the integrity of the judges who sat on the case. And I think it's most unfair. We don't want our integrity attacked. The integrity of every citizen of Ghana, including those who sit on the bench, needs to be protected. But politicians, for very reckless reasons, are constantly attacking the integrity of persons sitting on the bench. And that's worrisome. So the moment you sit on the bench, you become devil. You become evil. You become a collaborator. You become an unprincipled person and so on. That's a problem. Especially when you're dealing with the Court of Appeal, where it is not one judge, 3 judges.
Yeah.
So you're saying that 3 judges came together and decided to violate the law in order to please politicians and so on. You don't make that statement lightly. You understand what I'm saying? That is not a statement you should be making lightly. You can only make that statement on the basis of evidence and deep conviction, not just flippantly like that and so on. That's a problem here.
Right.
You see, there's a serious problem here.
Okay.
In any case, check. All the judges who have sat on these controversial cases, go and check the dates of their appointments. Go and check the dates of their appointments. If that is important. I don't think that is important. You understand? But if you think it is important, go and check the dates of the appointments. So please, listen, all of us, I am not sure that there's any Ghanaian, whether they belong to NPP or NDC or CPP, who will be jubilating if this country falls into the realms of anarchy. But we should be careful that even though we don't want our country to fall into the realms of anarchy, our practice does not lead us there. So today, anybody who is in the NDC who is arrested, it is against the party. Anybody who is in the NPP who is arrested, it is against NPP and so on. Let's stop this. Let's stop this. It doesn't benefit us. You understand what I mean? Yeah. Look, I think that in this country, there's a need for some legal reform. You know. But at the same time, I do not believe that the laws as they exist now can prevent any state institution or government from doing what is right. None plays the role of the other. Okay? So the judge or judges sitting in a case do not craft the charge sheet. They do not build evidence. It is not their role to build evidence and so on. Okay? It is the prosecution's duty, not the judge's duty, not the accused person's duty, to prove the charge beyond reasonable doubt. Okay? The duty of the defense is just to create reasonable doubt. Minimum threshold, reasonable doubt. That's all there is. Okay? So, to do a presentation which suggests that the judge has a role in correcting a defective charge sheet is unfortunately untenable. Unfortunately, it is untenable.
Has anybody made that point?
I haven't said that. Can I finish, sir?
No, but I'm asking, did anybody make that point?
Well, whether you made the point or not, it's untenable.
No, but you are...
Do you agree that it's untenable?
But you are asserting. No, if nobody made the point, why are you saying it's untenable?
But he's entitled to give his general advice.
No, but I'm saying, but it has to arise for you to give the advice. Who made that point?
No, not necessarily. Not necessarily. It's a view he's always held, so he's only repeating it. It's a view he's always held.
Okay, so I just want to know that nobody made it. So if somebody made it, I want to know who made it. Okay. And why he thinks so.
But can I
please go ahead.
Can I move on?
Yes.
You know, I want to refer to some specifics.
Yes.
In the Sedinam Tamakro trial.
Yes.
What is the allegation? The allegation is that she entered into some contractual agreements for which the state would have spent more than necessary in the procurement.
Yes.
That's the allegation.
Yes.
One of the allegations. What are the facts? The facts before the court were that those agreements were never implemented. Indeed, those agreements were reviewed.
Yes.
Those agreements were reviewed by those who were prosecuting her. They reviewed the agreement that she signed. Worse still, Sedinam did not pay one peswa. She did not pay one peswa in fulfillment of that contract. How do you charge somebody for causing financial loss when no money has been spent? Well, the defective agreement has been reviewed and thrown away. What's the basis of charging her for causing financial loss to the state? When the money was not spent, when the agreement was jettisoned. My friend, let's be serious. If she were your excuse my language.
No, feel free. I mean,
no, please. I was going.
No, go ahead.
If she were his sister, you mean?
I was going to say if she were your wife.
Okay.
Well, that would be wrong. You're just making an illustration, so you can go ahead.
On the basis of such accusations.
You see, so
you said she signed an agreement. Yes, she signed the agreement, but you reviewed the agreement.
Yes.
The sums in the agreement were never paid. Never paid. So how was financial loss caused? Massa, why? Why do you politicize everything?
But this is not politics.
Even people's freedom. People's rights are being politicized. What is this?
Don't go there. Nobody is politicizing anything. We are discussing the thing as is. And the commitment I'm making to you is that we want to create a certain standard that is enduring.
I agree.
Okay, so here's the issue, and it's painful that we're talking and it's as if we're personalizing it. Well, let's talk about the legacy that is going to leave. That's pretty much the issue. But the question about she signed a contract and then wasn't executed, and
it was reviewed.
Yeah, it was reviewed. What is that supposed to say?
The charge is causing financial loss. No expenditure has occurred.
But you see,
how is financial loss?
Kwesi, look at the point you are making, and I know you understand that it's an absurdity to say that just because the contract was not executed, as the crime has not happened. What happened?
What's the crime? Hold on. How was financial loss caused in this matter?
Hold on. What would have happened if NDC had won the 2016 election and she remains in office? Would she have executed it or not? Would she have executed it or not?
Fantastic.
So you have crystallized a contract.
Master, this is really fantastic.
No. You see, let's get serious about this.
You convicted somebody because she could have committed a crime.
But see, is that
what you're saying?
Kwesi, please.
Richard,
please.
You're saying that somebody
please, Kwesi, stop this.
Imagine that she could have committed a crime.
Stop this. But why are we imagining? The person has crystallized a contract in office,
which was not executed.
And the only reason it was not executed because they left office.
Yes.
And other people, hold on. And other people came and reviewed it.
Yes.
Now, do you think that if she was in office, she would have reviewed it?
No. Let's say that no.
And so she would have.
Yes.
And
so she would have committed the offense.
So the intent to commit.
No, can you believe this?
Yes, you have to believe it, Uncle. See, if you're running, well, now you no longer run the inside, right?
Well, just
when you were there,
if
you were there, and somebody contrived to do something like that, and just because the person was let go, okay, and it didn't materialize in terms of what they are purported to do, you think that was not a crime to begin with?
Richard.
And the state is a continuum, it's a continuity. So that effort that was crystallized in office when she was there, and I'm telling you that if the NDC had won the 2016 election, should have gone ahead and execute that contract.
Let us assume that. Let us assume that.
Of course. So therefore, that contract that that contract that was crystallized when she was in office was a contract that the state was obligated to execute. Except that the people who took over saw that we can't do that.
Fantastic.
So that is the remedial action that was taken to save the state some money. And who told you even that the revised position was the ideal situation?
Fantastic.
Maybe we could have cut it into half.
Fantastic.
So the point we are saying is that, Kesi, let's not try to rationalize this thing. Where if this is to be looked at fully, what has happened? The excuse to say that somebody reviewed, somebody paid, is actually lame to suggest that, because an individual has crystallized a contract. Which contract? In fact, when we came, let me just use an example that you just gave tomorrow on this show. Today, Wednesday, we're supposed to come here and do newspaper review. But Moro intervened and brought some other person to interview. Good cause, whatever. But that is not the purpose for this platform. You understand? You told him not to do that because this is a committed program.
Well, what power do I have?
But you did.
I only advise.
Well, Kwesi, we know you. You have all the powers. You just told him, Moro, listen. So the point I am telling you, Kwesi, just wait. Wait.
Please tell Richard that I am not Captain Planet.
Yeah, you can be modest about it. I'm serious. Let me just laugh.
Captain Planet.
No, you are. We give you that. If you don't want to take it,
I am Captain Planet.
Yeah, we give you that. You can be. You've earned it. You've earned it. So when you've earned it.
Wow.
So Moro. So the point I'm saying is that nobody should be making that point. That point is being made by the NDC people, and Kwesi is repeating it. I think it's most unfortunate.
Okay.
You understand? You commit the state to a certain course of action. And you are saying that you shouldn't be held responsible for it. If it was a victory, wouldn't she claim it that I was there and we did ABCD? You understand? Okay. So how is it that the contract that you have signed, which should have cost the state in excess of what we ought to pay to get it, you are trying to tell us that because you didn't execute it, okay, therefore you should be held liable for it.
Okay.
Okay, that for me is the lamest explanation or justification anybody can give to that. To be a matter to say that he should be held liable. That for me is complete. And the more you continue to make that argument, it makes the case weak. To say that you signed and committed the state to a contract, and because you didn't execute the contract and people reviewed it, the people who reviewed it rather are at fault. What kind of logic is this?
Respect what I want to say now.
Oh,
what kind of logic is that?
I think you have every right. You have every right to question my logic. No,
I'm saying that you are not the only person who said it. Other people have said it before you, and I think it's a lame logic.
Okay.
It's lame.
You have every right to question my logic, and I won't take it. I won't hold it against you, and so you're entitled to question my logic. Yes. You know, I'm not.
You see that you're exercising your Captain Planet powers. Okay. It's a passive aggressive way of telling me you are attacking me.
No, Masa, you can question.
It's okay. It's okay.
But I want to break down what you have said.
Okay.
What you have said in common, simple language is this.
Yes.
That Sednam Tamaklo signed an agreement.
Yes.
And the agreement entailed inflated prices. It was not executed. The state did not spend any money.
Yes.
The agreement was reviewed, and no money was lost to the state.
Yes.
However, if the NDC had won the 2016 elections, that agreement would have been implemented.
Yes.
Not that it was implemented, but would have been implemented.
Yes.
No. And therefore, she has to be jailed for what she would have done. Not what she has done, what she would have done if NDC had won elections.
He says jail for intention. That's where it's coming from.
Exactly.
No.
Oh my goodness, Richard.
The charge.
Richard, listen to yourself.
Except that, Richard, the charge before the
Listen to yourself.
Was not a charge of mens rea, which is her intention. The charge was that she had done it.
Yes.
And that's where all this is coming from.
She would have done it if the NDC had won power.
Yes.
Therefore, jail her. Hey, Richard.
Kwesi.
Richard.
Kwesi. So you answer the question. Answer the question. The contract as was executed.
What?
All right. I am shocked. I'm shocked that you are doing this. Look,
no, you see,
but see, here's the point. Imagine that the people who took over from her administration, let's just say the NPP administration, what if they decided they wanted to execute the contract as inherited? Would we have occasioned that loss?
The fact is that
would we no. So now the only reason there is no financial loss is because they decided not to act on it.
So there is no financial loss.
Richard, you know what would have settled
this? But I'm saying that.
You know what I've settled.
And that is where, if the NDC had won, she would have executed that because she's clear in her mind that that's how much we should pay for the thing. I mean, I don't understand where you are going. You are coming with this.
I get where you're coming from.
So if you are doing that, you should commend the administration that took the remedial action to mitigate the cost.
I commend the NPP.
So, but then it's not equal to saying that nothing was done wrong. Because if you commend them, then you agree that something wrong was done, and therefore somebody took the action to correct it. So you must be clear on that. Don't just say that because I don't understand where you are going with that.
Masa, let us hold on. Let us assume.
How can you commend somebody and not agree that something wrong was done? So why are you commending the person?
Masa, let us admit. Let us accept that the NPP was right. Let us even accept.
Why can you not just say it? Why is it agree? Because the situation is clear.
For the sake of argument.
Let us even agree that the NPP deserve commendation for reviewing the agreement and stopping
to save the state.
To save the state for stopping that and so on. Where is the commission
of the crime?
Of the crime of causing financial loss to the state when no payment was made? Why is the crime? So I commend NPP. I commend Nana Akufo-Addo's administration. I commend Oforiata. I commend Tika and so on. All of you for reviewing the agreement.
Okay.
to stop us from an expenditure which would have led to the causation of financial loss to the state. The fact remains that no financial loss was caused.
But so extend your
unless you
argument.
want to jail people on the basis of their intention, what they're thinking in their head.
But that was not before the
But
court.
this is not thinking in the head. This is thinking that is crystallized on paper.
Paper which you threw away. Paper which you threw away.
At effort to invite the people, say, let's renegotiate this because we see it to be obscene.
No.
That's a matter. Because once you
made.
No. Kwesi, you have not made any point. I think that what you're doing is a great disservice to this country, the way you are arguing. Because you cannot tell me. You cannot. It's a great disservice, to be honest. You cannot tell me that a contract that is crystallized, and in depending on whatever terms it was, the state was obligated to effect it because it was a proper officer of the state that went into that contract. So that contract, and I'm telling you two things.
If the state was
probably at the
obligated,
benevolence of the organization, understanding that they want a continuous relationship with the state, and the state leveraged that to bring the price down. But you cannot tell me that when you crystallize a contract,
there was no expenditure, there was no payment.
But that is different.
So financial loss could not have been caused when there was no payment.
That is because there was an intervention to review it. Otherwise, that loss would have been occasioned. Are you not following the argument?
But it was not occasioned.
So what? So now who made it not to be occasioned?
You.
Yes.
And I salute you for that.
And so for that, therefore, you set an example so that people don't commit you to that because the intent had been crystallized. That contract was as good as paid. If the NDC had won the election, it was going to be paid. If the NPP administration decided not to review it, it would have been paid.
I made a point, and because it's just the first.
I don't understand why you are making this thing as if.
So Richard,
yeah.
What was before the court was not about what her intentions were. What was before the court that she had done it. And Kwesi is saying that she didn't do it. That's all. It's that simple. It's a valid argument you're raising that the intention in itself is problematic. That
it is not intention. It is a contract. It's a contract. It's not intention.
It's a contract. So from setting.
So what is the intention?
No. From setting this point of view, it has been executed.
What do you mean by that?
The fact, not from a point of view. The fact is that the contract was never executed.
Okay, so
he makes the
after you sign a contract, hold on. After you sign a contract, what happens?
It would have been paid.
So
the only reason it wasn't abrogated by who?
It was reviewed by reviewing. It was abrogated.
But I'm saying that was she the same person who reviewed it?
No.
And so why are you saying? So she wouldn't have reviewed it. That's the point.
That's intent. You are talking about.
But the contract is there.
If she were,
it's in there.
The contract is invalid.
The contract is not the same as execution of the contract.
Oh my goodness! I hope that you continue arguing like this going forward, because when somebody has signed a contract, which contract is right for execution, and the person is no more there, and another person comes. Okay, everything the gentleman came here to talk about today about Tor and going about what they have done and commending the CEO and all of that. Do you think that people before them didn't do the restructuring, the debt restructuring that the NPP did up until now?
Okay.
Do you give any credit to the other guy, the previous government?
You want us to discuss Tor?
No, I'm just giving you an insight. No problem. What I'm saying that I don't understand the logic, and having listened to you and your argument over the years, I find it difficult that you are making this argument that the contract was not paid.
Making illogical arguments. Say so.
I won't say that. I won't say that.
That's exactly what you mean.
No. But it's not consistent with what I know you to.
You're watching Good Morning God on Metro Television. We need to take a break. We need to take a break.
For your Kwesi Pratt and I suppose the NPP for ni pioneer Richard Ahiaba na can say go no bones in Kasano. All my into Richard Ahiaba, I just Okasama NPP, one of the NPP for best communicators for no, and then no into Kasano. And Richard Ahiaba episode or justify say democracy is under attack because China more demonstration. She also make a Supreme Court from the Jubilee House I could present a petition about democracy under attack. And I say in people who material say or to too many area because near my brain cause just democracy is under attack. The same free speech under Kofwado na a journalist for ntimi nkasa rating agencies for no my who say not just say in Africa no position near dano near where 60 something and about 50 something. President Mahama by about 30 something. So then I just say there is no free speech. Obisi obekum a president. Etwetwe no gubotom. Etwetwa na yere so. Osi yenya na free speech. Na mohwe ni peya o kase ya o hwa obetima ye. No bitwi cameras nanim. Say ebo say obaka koria Bank of Ghana. Obaka koria bank we. Yebeja no. So niwe bo wa ene na mo yesi echine bi. So echine bi because under akofado no ngrofo bi kasa ye koria ase na echomutum because free speech no and guarantee say with make bibia no afa ho adi untimi threaten bi say obekuno even our neighbors obi free fi be threaten say obekun a we go police station a itimi ye den eba arrest ni pa kono threaten on so obekun. Nene a whole fair gentleman of the land, President Moa. Will be at your cameras in him. Even sometimes could be to create him because moon baby cry moon bono. And when you know was a free speech any and Jenny Pacrono. And a president no come and say saying this ye fro back court, ye fro police station, shall be a was not make a big like. And ye take it, ye sanitize the system, so as democracy is an attack. And then a busty a Kwesi Pratt mind and I won't do one country a Richard Anyabano. A sitting judge, you people are saying, say, Baumia integrity is very important. We won't allow anybody to attack Baumia, any person, any being under this earth, or about attack Baumia, yem pneumano, ye be facing boot for boots, yem pne. Meanwhile, the question is, are there Baumia yena nipa chronicle, or ye, or kind, and as a wanka. Baumia can say Paul Goodam, why ye. Okowa yenye so nipa ne ba na state no ka say Baumia can say no onye ya o say empene fine mu protect Baumia integrity fine. Now right now no judge no akọ suku nim di akọ nanim akọ high court akọ appeal court supreme court mo that's all the any ruling be about mutimi ye press conference attack the judge. Now you are attacking the second arm of government, you know. Democracy is not under attack. Look at some of the comments sometimes Miki. With me called demonstration, no matter more sabo police ni be awesome. Police ni will protect no team those action as madden we MP. And democracy is not under attack. So when more kasa demonstration more, you know. E kamia say more ye demonstration etia more. More ye demonstration etia more kasa more. And I don't know, busted Kwesi Pratt mind not just what me. I lay a point. I can't man said the city actually Richard and Bunny NPP no why expose you on my palm meeting put for boots at the end of the year. Subscribe to my channel so you don't for once.